Hi guys, Becky here, Aunt Beck's Creations. How's everybody doing? Give everybody a few minutes. I came out a few minutes early. I'm going to go over some things that I've been doing since I haven't been doing lives. I've been doing projects around the cottage here, and I'm going to share a couple of those. And then we'll do a Christmas in July Dirty Dozen, and maybe another project depending on how long we spend doing the Christmas in July Dirty Dozen. But before we start that, oh, hold please, I forgot something. Sorry guys. I've got a chicken in the oven that is taking longer to cook than I feel like it should. All right, so where the book ends, can you remind me your name, please? And hi, Kendra. Hi, Candy. Hi, Mary. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Ann. And Deborah. A second time. So I have a little surprise for the first 4 people that popped in chat, and that is Candy, Where the Book Ends, Kendra, and Mary. Hi, Miffy. So what I did as a little surprise is I pulled out 4 of my hand-decorated envelopes, and inside each one, there's a few odds and end. The little things like this are all different, but they're all from the same piece of paper. So there's all these little summer icon-like things. This, and each person gets 3 pages of quotes that I like. You just have to put adhesive on the back and cut them out, and then you can use them on your projects. And then I created a little journal. So for those 4 people that were the first ones to chat, that's Candy, Where the Book Ends, Kendra, and Mary, you'll each get one of these. And so that was my early bird surprise packages. I'm going to try to do something like that each week if everybody kind of likes that idea. I think Kendra says, oh, goody, thank you. So those, I've got the note right here. I'm just going to need, where the book ends, you'll need to email me your address. If you're not in Phibbsville, if you're in Phibbsville and your address is on there, I'll get it to you. But if not, you need to email me, and I will put my email address in here so you can email me. Let me double check that, because sometimes my fingers, yeah, see, I've left off something. If I can get the mouse to like stop where I want it to. Hi, Susan Gerald. So now I got to go back up here. See. Oh, okay. Suze, I didn't know that was you. Where the book ends is Suze Garrison. Okay. Now we know. Sorry, Kathy. Maybe next week. So, that's not going to work. It's blowing away because of the thing. There we go. All right. I'm going to go over the things I've done while I was away from y'all. Last week, we went to Goodwill, and if you'll remember, I got that yarn somewhere. I've got the tag for it. Hang on. That reminds me of something else I want to go over. It was this Trendsetter Yarns, and the original price was $14.25 a skein, and I got it for 89 cents a skein. Now it says dry cleaning recommended, but I just wash stuff and then lay it flat to dry. I don't, I'm not rough with the fiber type stuff. So I went online and I found a pattern. It's for a kind of a shawl, and it actually, I thought I'd have enough to make the full size thing, but what I ended up with was more of a shawl like this. But see, if I bring this up, and I got a pin that I got at the thrift store too, I can put it on there, and this is perfect for my neck issue because it'll keep my neck warm, and I still like it. And I think the pattern was called Moonstruck, but I love this. It's got a gold fleck to it. So instead of being $14.25 times 3, I used all 3 skeins on this. It was less than $3 for me to make by myself. All right. So that's one thing I got done. Oh, I see. If anybody crochets, Jada in Stitches is developing a game on her channel. She's live right now doing it, but I wanted to tell you guys about it. It's a fun game to do granny squares, and she's got all, it's just, it gets crazy, just telling you. But if you want to check it out later, Jada in Stitches. So I'm going to close that so I can see y'all's chat. Hi, Sharon, Joyce. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Janet's still making her dinner. Oh, Candy, how did the surgery go? Are you okay? Hi, Mary Two. Talk about surprises. Mary Two and Janet surprised me. Let me put this aside. And hang on, I got to run to the other room over here. I had these by the bed so I could look at them last night. But Mary Two and Janet surprised me with some of Barb Owen's cards and this awesome coloring book. So yeah, this was great. Thank you guys. I was thrilled. I was like, what has Mary sent me? So that was a surprise in the mail. Let's see. I got an email from DMC, and they have new floss colors, and I went ahead and ordered them because I'm thinking about getting back into cross stitching. But these are all the latest new colors, and I thought they were really pretty. I especially love this green right here. I don't know, 3894. Trying to read a name. They give them names. I can't remember. I think they're just numbers. But those are all the new colors. I'm trying to keep them in their bag so I keep them clean. Hi, Journey. Yeah, the thing I've got is there's a pinched nerve right at the between my neck bones and my spine. You know, where my spine at the top is, this little notch right here. And when I'm looking up, like painting, it's like I pinch something in my neck. And it's like my head feels like it weighs 50 pounds, you guys. It's horrible. The other thing I got my fabric in, and I ordered some more of the $1.99 a yard mystery fabric. And this time I ordered a knit, and I got this for $1.99. And you guys, it's so soft. Yes, my lips, I have had that problem since a child. My lips do move even when I'm reading silently. Sorry. I had to go to a special teacher and everything for it, but I still do it. And then this I paid $6 a yard for. And I'm going to make a tank top that was a free pattern on Ellie and Mac website. If you're a sewer, Ellie and Mac has some free patterns. I'll show you the pattern. You print them off. And I'm not going to put the pocket on mine. I don't like pockets by ladies' bosoms. So that's the tank top I'm going to make with those two fabrics. And this was a free pattern. And you print it off, and you tape the pages together. The patterns, I always have to elongate them because their patterns are made for ladies and under 5'5", 5'5", 5'5" inches, and I'm 5'7", so I had to add an inch in the middle here to make this long enough for me. So I'm going to make those. And I thought, why not try a free pattern instead of keep buying expensive ones? Now, the other thing I wanted to share is I picked this dolly. Isn't she pretty? I picked her up at the thrift store to have at my house in case the little nieces came to play. And her hair was just all tangled and matted. And I did the fabric softener trick, washed her hair. What's no? What did I say that's a no? Candy, I've sewn since I was 9. I'm 56 now, and I'm getting back into sewing. So you have a fear of dolls. Sorry. I just thought she was precious. Look away for just a minute. I fixed her hair. After I washed it, I curled it and put it in bobby pins and did little pin curls. And yeah, I'm going to have her at the house. I'm going to move her because it's freaking Janet out. But I love baby dolls. So I'm going to put her up. But she's for my nieces and to play with. Let's see, where can I put her? I'll put her in the bedroom so Janet doesn't have to look at her again. Sorry, Janet. Didn't mean to scare you. Happy meal for Janet. Holly, don't be mean. Yeah, I sew, I quilt. I called and I asked my mom. I said, did Kayla like the baby quilt? Because I've not heard anything. I just saw a picture of her holding it up. And Mom said, oh, yeah, she held it to her chest and started crying, and she loved it. And I said, well, I just wanted to make sure because I haven't gotten a card or a thank you or anything. And I just wanted to make sure she liked it. So apparently she liked it just fine. So what else? Oh, I got to share my journal that I made with Mary and Anne and Shelly and Sharon. And there was one more, wasn't there? I'm missing the other one that was in the hop. I can see her name, but I can't remember what it is. Hi, Barbara Clark. You missed me scaring Janet with the doll baby. I won't bring her back, but I fixed her hair, so she's all pretty now. Jersey and Lizzie. Yes, those were the other ones. So let me pull that out real quick here. I'm going to put you all down on the table so you don't have to look at my crazy hair anymore. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Julie. I won't bring a dolly out again. So I kept all the papers I used here in case I wanted to add something. So I did add these chipboard letters that say summer, and I'm going to see if I can find a 2020 that's smaller to put down there. So, and I added a button closure, which I just punched some holes in there. and sewed it, literally sewed it and tied it on, but it's not on there really tight. This was the pocket that Jersey did. And this paper had this pretty flower, so I just cut it out and put it on the front. And then I made a tag and used this circle, cut it in half, and put half on this side, half on that side. So I have a great big fat tab. And then I put little tabs here and there, like every other page. So if I wanted to, I could find stuff quickly. The only thing I have not made yet is Lizzie's paper clips. I haven't made those yet. That is not going in there. Why isn't it going down? There we go. So this is just some scrapbook paper that I'm trying to use up. And in fact, the same paper pad is the one I made the giveaway booklets out of that are in the envelopes already. Okay, I'm gonna let you look at this for just a sec. I have to check on the chicken that's in the oven. I should have started it earlier. Oh, stop. Swear it. All right, stop. All right, I think it needs longer. I tested it. It's only at 150 degrees. Okay. Is it Linda's birthday? Happy birthday, Linda. So we're back to looking at this. This is just paper. I folded it in half. And this was the, I actually did the tassel. Who did the tassel? Was that Lizzie? Who did the tassel? I think that was Lizzie. Who did the paper clip? I'm so confused. But I still have to do a paper clip. But I did a tassel using some of the leftover yarn from the shawl I showed you. And then I just did a piece of chipboard and covered it with some paper for a bookmark. So that goes in there. And then the only other thing, I added some places where I could put a note. But I was using wet glue. And you know, when you use wet glue, it wrinkles everything up. But I wanted to do a quick flip of this. And I sewed it together. That's just the oven saying it's hot again. Uh-oh, got some glue here. So I've got lots of places in this one that I can write. So if we actually do a day trip or something, I could maybe, you know, write about it in here. And then I did another pocket, but this one I just adhered to the page and put this in there. And this hangs out the edge. No, it doesn't. It goes down in. Okay. And I put some stickers in it. And that's all I've done to it so far. I should have put the date that we did that on there. So that's the summer journal I did with Mary and them week before last. So who all is going to play Christmas in July Dirty Dozen? I have made a list of 32 prompts, and what I'm going to do is get you guys to list off numbers between 1 and 32, and as you all are putting numbers up, I'll write them down, and those are the ones we'll do in the order that they come up. So if y'all want to start throwing some numbers up 1 through 32, then I will I'll write them down here, and then we'll start working on this. In about 30 minutes, I will have to run back and pull that chicken back out. We got a bunch of 13s, 25, 8, 30, 32, 12, 24, 21, 29, 5, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So after 4 is, we already got 21, 8. Nope, we got 8 already. We got 30 already. We got 20. We don't have 20. All right. So we're going to start with 13. So number 13. All right, I've got enough now. I've got 12 numbers. So number 13 says spray. Spray right out of the mark here. Hello? Hello? No. No. Yeah, well, it's my sister-in-law's house. So, yeah. Thank you. Talk about freak me out. So I need to get a spray. What do I do with the sprays? Uh-oh. Well, I just unloaded half of the cart of stuff that was just kind of sitting up here. That's the good part about not owning the house, is I don't have to answer any questions like that. I can just say, nope, not the homeowner. So we need a spray that looks kind of Christmassy, I would say. Because it's Christmas in July, right? Let me see what I've got here. This is red. Oh man, I really made a mess. Bernadette, what do you think of that mess I just made? Huh? She said, I don't think. I'm just a dog. All right, I'm going to turn the air off for just a sec so I don't blow stuff everywhere. Give it a second to kick off. Hi, Kimberly 557. All right. So the first prompt is spray. I swear this says red, doesn't it? It says cherry. That looks pink to me, but. Oh, there's a bug climbing around. I think he got sprayed too. Okay, let's turn the air back on so I don't die here in the heat. I think I got stuff on the remote control for the air conditioner. Ah! All right, let's see here. That was a guy from the Clean Air Initiative. And he wanted to probably sell me solar because they're doing that big time here. I was working in the kitchen, Mary says. Hi, Jamie. Let me get this here. I must. What's Mary doing? She doesn't want to spray, I bet. That's okay, Kathy. I'm trying to help Mary get her postcards done in time. I'm just going to dry this real quick, and then the next one I'll tell you in just a sec. Wish that blooming chicken would finish so I wouldn't have to keep going to the kitchen to check on it. I should have started it earlier. We'll be eating chicken for days because it's just Scott and I, and yeah. A chicken lasts forever, but I turn it into a bunch of different meals. Cat herding has begun. Yes, dear. All right, number 25 was the next one called out, and that's tinsel or used silver. I know, I've got the fan on. Yes. No, I'm not opening another one. All right, silver. Silver. I have silver. I think I'm just going to sponge some silver on here and there. That's okay, Mary. Well, that chicken's got an onion in his fanny because I like to put an onion inside when I'm roasting a chicken just to give it extra moisture. You can't be at 10 places at one time. Well, that happens. I was gifted a chipmunk for a morning offering from the cats. Didn't make me very happy. And now I'm having to do the cat herding situation. I took the dog out, though, right before I came on, so she should be okay for a while. She took a tumble off my mother-in-law's porch. I was trying to see if we'd been there enough times that she would remember that she had to step down, and she turned and walked away from the steps and went to the edge, and Scott and I were both going, no, 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 stop. And she just like took a step, and then it was like she said, I'm going to tuck and roll. And man, she hit the ground right on her back. But I've been watching her because she's a 13-year-old dog, and a tumble like that could be bad. But she's been doing okay. Hi, Callie. Okay, that's going to be my tinsel. I did not bring my jug of water in here. Hopefully, Callie will not jump up. Honey, I'm not opening another one. No. right. So we did number 25. All right. Next number that y'all called out was 8, which is bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. I better dry this a little bit. Thanks, Holly. Bubble wrap. Wish I'd had some blue spray, and then I could have been with a snow theme right now, but I've got red on here, so I'm trying to decide what color I should do the bubble wrap with. What do y'all think? What color should I do bubble wrap? Let me all tell you, I did some shout outs on sewing channels, and Dorothy's daughter, her name's Kim, and I've really started watching her a lot. She has a lot of really good information. She has a Facebook group that's a lot of fun, and she's trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So I'm doing another shout out for her. White, do white like snow. Okay. Let's see. I might put out a little bit of this Blue Heaven and a little bit of cotton ball, or a lot of it, whatever comes out. We'll see. See. Snowballs. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like, I guess. Let's see. I need a place. Let me move my meter. This is all the buttons I got yesterday. I took them all out of that plastic bag, and I put them in the jar I bought for 79 cents. I love to find buttons at the thrift store. They cost so much. Oh, am I messing Jamie up coming on? Is Jamie live too? Or did she do a video? I don't want to mess her up. Well, Cheryl, if you don't have silver, go ahead and do gold. Mary would agree with that. Just rebel and use gold. And I'm just mixing a little bit of white and pink on here, and I'm just going to tap it on and then put it down. That way you don't get great big globs of paint. Please don't jump up here, honey. You haven't wanted anything to do with me all day long, and now you're wanting to be in and in my face and everything. Let's see, how much more paint is there? Not much. You know, we're so far back on the prompt level that these will probably all mostly get covered anyway. Roll back. He must have got a call to go pick somebody else up, because he sure is going up the road awful fast. Scott keeps telling me I'm going to be that crazy woman that yells at people, slow down. All right. She's being a good girl. When that timer goes off again, I'm just going to pull that chicken out and say it's good. Let's see here. Let's see, that was number 8 that y'all picked for our third one. So number 4 is going to be 30, which I wrote down for 30 washi tape. So that's number 4. I'm writing the numbers next to them so I can put it in the description box afterwards. Washi tape. Now, can I remember where I put the washi tape? In fact, I think I got the perfect tape to use if it's still in there. I'm going to use this from a previous where we put the masking tape down and then pull it off later. I'm going to use this washi tape because it looks kind of Christmassy. I'll just get a glue stick to put that down with. And I'll be using something from a previous Dirty Dozen, which I think is cool. Getting my steps in, running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. Oh, this says repositionable. That's no good. Here we go. Extreme. The little girl cat is laying right under my feet. I am thrilled Candy's won. Candy's had a full day. So that was good that she won one of the hidden surprises that I did at the beginning for the early birds. I just like to do a little game every now and then for folks that come consistently onto my channels and watch my crazy lives and that kind of stuff. And remember, I clear coat my postcards mainly so that they'll hold together in the mail. Because when I put the clear coat, it's like it glues everything down. This is still pretty sticky, but I'm going to add the glue stick too because every little bit helps when you're trying to get something through the mail. Which I was really surprised Journey's postcard came outside an envelope. Mary's was put in an envelope, and the one I got from her came right through with the ribbon tied on the outside and everything, which I was surprised. Very, very surprised. Those were the most beautiful, dreamy postcards. Oh, that's cool, Janice. So yesterday was my little nephew Austin's 11th birthday. And I guess they had a little party for him. See, my younger siblings, they all kind of hang together. And the older group, me and my brother and sister that were a little bit older than the other 3. And we all kind of stay in our separate areas. And the younger ones, they get together. They have younger children and that kind of stuff. See, Robin and our kids were like 5 years apart. So our kids are grown. Well, I would say they're all married, but Greg's not married. You know what I'm saying? They're older. Austin turned 11 yesterday. And my sister Hazel bought him a go-kart, and they were having fun. And it was so funny. My youngest sister is like 5'10", and she was in that little go-kart, and it was like, the video was hilarious. She had her legs going everywhere. It's like, aren't you a little old for that? Holly doesn't like dolls or clowns either. Well, you guys, I've always loved my dollies. They were like my bestest friends growing up because I didn't really have anybody to play with most of the time. So I had a doll hospital. Y'all would have freaked out at my house. And I'd mix up concoctions. I remember mixing up Phillips Milk and Magnesia tablets, and what else was there? Phillips Milk and Magnesia tablets, and had a really good dose of penicillin growing. Whatever it was, it turned a really pretty pink. Now, there are some dolls like Chucky. I don't want nothing to do with him, but a pretty baby doll, I just love my dollies. But those new ones that look like real babies, those creep me out. You know, the what are they called? Reborns? No. Aunt Beck don't go there. Scott and I drove to check out this new home development they were showing on Zillow, and it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. So we went into Pendleton and went to the Goodwill there today, but we didn't see anything. So then we had to turn around and race home so he could eat lunch real quick and then go to work, because that's the downside of him working second shift. You know, he gets off at 11, isn't home until 11:30, sometimes midnight. And so he's most as alert and awake when he's first off from work, you know, and there's nobody open to go like shopping, or you can't see anything in the middle of the night in the dark. So there's no point in going for a drive. So it's a different way of life when you're on second shift. And see, my son, he works until 2:30 in the morning. So he's on a definitely different shift than most of his friends. I want to use all of this up because we're so low on the prompts. You know, we've got a lot more to go before we're done, and this will all get buried for the most part. You know, I don't think a lot of the younger generations really get into dolls much. That's all the kids now, they're just real involved with electronic games and that kind of stuff, which is, to me, kind of sad to not, you know, it's like they are immediately thrown into adult type games, electronics and all of that. They don't, the creative mind of making up games with just minimal things, I think, is a lost skill for a lot of kids. I mean, if they constantly have to be entertained and they can't entertain themselves, that's sad. Of course, that's my opinion. Everybody's got one. All right, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pitch that in the trash. Yes, I put it in the trash. All right. So I got my washi tape on, and my fingers are absolutely covered in glue. I'm trying to get up some of this glue I've got here so that it doesn't stick to the back of my paper. And then I can tell you guys what you called out next. Not knowing what the list was, I am on prompt 4. So you need me to call them out, Mary? Let's see. 1 was spray. 2 was tinsel or silver, or if you don't have silver, use gold. 3 was bubble wrap. And 4 was washi tape. The American Girl dolls, I think some little girls have those. I know they still sell them. I'm trying to get the glue up here. There we go. Ooh, look at the pretty napkin because I've got that spray on here. I'm going to lay this over the edge of my trash can and just use it again. All right. So number 5. Let's see. What did y'all call out? Called out 32, which is the last thing I wrote on here. So let's see what that says. Oh, sparkle. Number 5 is sparkle. You don't want to cover yours up yet? I might just use glitter paint. I swear that's still sticky. You are fine. Yeah, you're fine. I've got purple, pink, and black glitter. I didn't know I had that. That's cool. Well, I'm going to use this pink glitter because it's what glitter paint. This is what I've got. I think I'm just going to spread it with my fingers. It's the Glamour Dust Ultra Fine Glitter Paint. Celebration Pink. Some people have pink, oh, goodness, Mary. Well, you just rest. Okay, you guys, I'll put that on in just a minute. Yes, Callie, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Oh, it's hot in this little kitchen. Oh, yeah, we're done now. Looks so pretty. All right. Honey, I'm not going to give you any fresh right now. Ew. Ew. Ew, grody. Honey, you don't want that. It's not anything a kitty cat would want. Well, I think I got enough. And we can see how gross it is because that's another reason to use it up. Some of it's gotten solid. Ew, there's another glob. So gross. We really needed to mow the lawn again when we were down this past weekend at the house, but I just didn't have it in me. My neck was hurting, and Scott was just so exhausted, and he's still exhausted, but was talking about he guessed he'd work on his car this weekend. And I was like, dude, you need a break. Yes, dear. So I'm going to do these postcards up and then try to save them aside for Christmas and hope I don't, put them up really well. If that keeps peeling up there, I will chop it off. Kind of glad I'm using this up because it's starting to go solid. This is the same thing I sent Mary. So Mary, it goes solid. Look at that. Isn't that gross? If it sits too long. Ew, see? That's disappointing. That just goes to show if you've got supplies, use them because they don't last. They don't last forever. That actually liquefied that spray and kind of spread it out on my background though. But now I've got very blingy fingers. Y'all probably can't see the shine and the glitter on that. All right. I don't know, can you see it? It's got a little shine to it. Not too much. You think you lifted weights today? The grass needed mowed. Yeah. Yep, I've got a bunch of sequins I need to use up. Well, that's good, Mary. Yeah, it's this. I think this is the same kind I sent you. It's the Glamour Dust, and when the glitter sets to the bottom, some of it'll start. It's like it's solidified the glitter in the bottom, and then it doesn't reconstitute and mix with the painty stuff that's in there or glue or whatever. So yeah, I'm glad you've about used it up so that it's not, it's not going to dry up on you. That's good. All right, so we did 32. You guys called out number 12 next. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I better number them on here. 6 will be 12, which is gold. Number 6 is gold. Yeah, there's some sparkle to that. Let's see, what do I want to do with gold? I think I have a gold pen. I could do some swirls or something, wiggly marks or something. Or maybe go around the blue dots with the gold. That would look cool. Mary says, gold. I don't want to ruin my gold pen though, so I gotta get this. Oh, you know what I could do? That would work. I'm going to get a straw and some gold paint and then just dip the straw in and put it on there. I have straws. I just don't know how much it'll pick up, and that's gold. Looks like I need to go buy some gold paint. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring my wipe off piece of canvas. I like how this is turning out, so I think I'm just gonna use it as my thing to put paint on, and then I can just scrape it around, and it won't go to waste because it'll be on this background canvas that I'm working up. Here we go. Let's see if this will work. I don't think that's going to work because it's not a big enough thing. Hang on, let me see. I'm going to do gold with the tiniest curler I have. Now, where can I put these so I can find them like the day after Thanksgiving? Because we all know how we do. We put things up, so we'll find them later, and then they go MIA into the void of where the socks go. That's where all our projects go, you know. They're with the socks that we only have one of. I might stick, I came across a whole pile of artist trading card backgrounds. I might put 2 of those backgrounds in each of these envelopes that I'm going to send out to the first 4 that got into chat tonight. So you guys will have to come up with a way to decorate the artist trading cards, because all I'm going to send you is backgrounds. So it'll be up to y'all to finish the ATCs. I think that would be a fun thing to do too. That's something that would be fun to do. You know, if you've got extra backgrounds and you're just sick of working with them, just surprise somebody with them and see if they can do a different take on it than what you did. All right, I'm just going to scrape this out here. Make for an interesting background. All right. You'll see my circles. There they are. And you can see the camera's not liking the glitter. Hi, Cindy. All your Christmas stuff is together. I have Christmas stuff with my craft stuff. So some of it is divided up. But as far as Christmas decor and stuff, it's in the storage unit all the way at the back. So that's why I told Scott, I said, I hope we can find a house before Christmas so that I can actually decorate this year and I will have all of my stuff in one place. I wish we were younger and we had all the energy we used to have, because we'd go down every weekend and just work and work and work. We can't do that anymore. We're in our 50s and 60s, and working like that just makes us ill. So we'll get it done eventually. And we've been very lucky that his sisters let us stay here. So I'm not going to complain about it. All right. So number 7 will be whatever you all called. Let's see, 24. 24 says, oh, add Christmas lights. Number, what did I say that was? 7? Number 7. Add Christmas lights. Yay, Cindy's home. Add Christmas lights. Well, got a couple places that aren't wanting to stick down. Christmas lights, Christmas lights. Well, let's see. I think I have a stencil, but I think I want something smaller since these are postcards. And that stencil, the light bulbs on it are huge. I'm thinking about just get a paintbrush and then just kind of draw the Christmas light shape with a paintbrush and then come back with a green marker or something and put the lights in. So let's see. We need a red and a yellow. Oh, that one's almost empty. Yellow. Red, yellow, green, and blue. Is that the colors that are in the Christmas light strand? I'm thinking these 4 colors would be good for the Christmas lights. I think that's what a traditional Christmas strand would look like. When your kitchen is really, really small, like I have here, and you can put your arms out straight and turn and hit the refrigerator, the sink, the stove, everything at once. When you turn the oven on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, it's almost like you can't breathe in there. So, a little bit of yellow. Some red. Well, we're going to chop this up into postcards. Ooh, excuse me. No. Oh, my inner 12-year-old came out. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm just going to do. Oh, that's not doing what I said. They don't have to be perfect. Well, the more I try on that one, the worse it gets. Turn it this way. Well, this paintbrush is not working for me. I'm fighting the urge to shove it into my tea. That would not be good. It doesn't help that I didn't bring a cup in here. So the peach pie I made for the coworker of Scott, his wife tried to make a pie following a recipe on the internet, and it didn't turn out for her, and I think she got discouraged. So they sent a bunch of peaches to us, and I said, well, you know what I'll do is I'll make us a peach pie, and I'll make them a peach pie. And I made a tote to send it with Scott so it'd be easier to carry. So I'll whip that up real quick. And then I got requests for the recipe and everything. So I guess that was well received. Anytime a recipe is requested, you know you done good. All right. Let's put some red ones on here. Probably come out looking orange because I'm not rinsing this. Oh, I hear my phone making noises somewhere. I think it's still in my purse. It's probably Greg giving me a play-by-play about how awful everything's going for him at work. He's got to learn to just ignore a lot of stuff. Don't get roped into the drama. What's getting him roped into it, though, is the fact that they're doing things against company policy and safety rules. And that's what's getting to Greg. So I just feel for him. He said he's doing everything he can to protect his own fanny. So he doesn't, if they come after him to fire him for some stupid reason, he'll have covered himself. Well, I don't know if these look like Christmas lights or not. I need to look at chat and let my brain take a breather from it. Thank you, Holly. For the peach pie, well, the crust recipe, I think I've shared that my sister and I baked pies together, and I showed her how to make my grandmother's pie crust. And so that's on my channel. I think it's like, let's make an apple pie part 2 or something like that. And that's me and my sister cooking together at my old house. And then as far as pie fillings go, I do not use the flour and all of that mess because I've never, ever had a pie turn out using the flour for thickening. I use minute tapioca. You can get it in a little 8-ounce box next to the pudding mixes. And if it's not there, sometimes they put it with the other thickeners like cornstarch. And you put, with the peaches, you do 4 to 5 cups of fresh or frozen peaches, and you mix in a 1/4 cup of the minute tapioca and about a cup of sugar, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon and about between 1/4 and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. That is a personal taste thing. I personally love nutmeg, so I put closer to the 1/2 teaspoon, but some people don't like nutmeg at all and would, could tolerate a 1/4 teaspoon. And you mix the filling up and set it aside while you're making your pie crust. So that, if you're using frozen fruit, it has some time to defrost some, because if it's not fully defrosted when you put your pie in the oven, you'll have to bake it longer to get the fruit done, a done texture of fruit, so it's soft. There you go. So it's soft. And to do that, so you don't get a really dark or burnt crust, when you're almost to the 55 minutes of baking, look and see if it's starting to get too brown. And if it is, all you have to do, you guys, if your pie crust is getting too brown but your filling is not done, just take a piece of aluminum foil and just kind of slide it over the top. So make sure it's as big as your pie, and you slide it over the top of the pie, and that will keep the top of your pie crust from burning while your fruit finishes cooking. But yeah, my grandmother swore on the minute tapioca. You can use that with any fruit. Yeah, you can adjust your sweetness. Personally, the recipe I have found call for like a cup and a half, a cup and a quarter of sugar. The pie I made for Scott's coworker, I only used a cup. And then the pie I made for us, I only used a half a cup of sugar. Because when you cook fruit, any kind of fruit, in the cooking process, it breaks down the fruit's sugar and sweetens it. So you don't really need all that sugar. All you're doing is adding something that your body doesn't really need, and it does not improve the taste. Additional sugar and sweetness really does not improve taste. But you can use the minute tapioca with any fruit: blueberries, cherries, apples, peaches. I've used canned fruit cocktail and made a pie. Just drain off the juice, because you don't want all of that juice that's in there. If you want it a little bit juicier, you can leave some of the juice, but do not use fruit cocktail with any kind of sweetener in it. Try to find the one that says no sugar added for your best pie if you're going to do a fruit cocktail pie. Some recipes, like for blueberry pie and apple pie, they ask you to add a little bit of citrus, like lemon or lemon or lime. Usually it's lemon. I don't do that because personally we do not like that tartness in like an apple pie or something. So I never do that. But yeah, it's usually between 4 to 6 cups of fruit. Depending on the fruit, you have to adjust the amount of minute tapioca you use. Because apple pie, you only need 2 tablespoons. The peaches are a little juicier, so you use a full quarter cup, which is 4 tablespoons. Giving y'all a pie lesson as I'm painting here. Sorry, this is making everything go longer, but y'all asked, so you get what you asked for. And yeah, my apple pie won 2nd place at the South Carolina State Fair, so I feel pretty confident in giving y'all advice on pies. The only reason it didn't get better than that, I think, is because I didn't put sugar on the outside of the crust, which I didn't understand. I'm used to just making a good old country pie. You don't put sugar on the outside. My grandmother would have thought that was a waste of good sugar. Growing up with my grandmother, we went to the grocery store once a month, and there's a green one there, and bought the basics, because on the farm, we grew our own animals, we grew our own vegetables, any of that. We had fruit that we picked ourselves. We'd go out in the woods and we'd pick blackberries and black cats, which are the really tall blackberries that are like that big, and raspberries. What else? My grandmother had blueberry bushes, currant bushes. We would go to a neighboring farm to pick cherries. And we're going to ignore that is a huge light bulb. We had apple trees. And every winter we would buy oranges and grapefruit from the school. the high schools always sold fruit and stuff, like the band and that kind of stuff. Oh, and then we would order fruit in great big 5-gallon buckets from the Agway. I don't think Agway is still a thing, is it? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been back north, so I don't know. I think it went out of business. You know, if anybody knows, you'll have to tell me if Agway is. It was a feed and seed company that we would get our animal feed from. We'd order it from Agway, and they would come and deliver. All right, I'm going to call that good on those. I'm just going to smush these around here. Let me get a way to scrape this. It'll go better. My pretty yellow board just took a turn to the dark side. I'm going to throw this paintbrush into the water in the sink out here. All right, so I guess I'll give it a dry and we'll put a line. We'll put a thing on my wire for my things. So this was number 7, the Christmas lights. Christmas lights is number 7. And usually the line on the Christmas light bulbs is green. So I'm wondering if I have a green marker. Not very Christmassy. Got this one. Jigsaw puzzles are a lot of fun. I had a great Aunt Edna, and she would have like 4 or 5 of them going on her great big dining room table. And I can remember being a very little girl because she was actually my grandmother's aunt. So she was that with my great aunt, or would that be a great great aunt? But anyway, she was my grandmother's aunt, and she was still living, and she had all those puzzles going, and she had a Labrador Retriever, you guys. And I can't remember the dog's name, but I can remember he was like a footstool. He was like really wide. Jamie's got to go. Bye, Jamie. So let me put my, let's put a little line on there. This is not going to look very Christmassy, but it's all I've got for a green. So come out of that one. Maybe these need to be bigger. Whoops. Kind of felt like that gold wasn't quite dry. If y'all ever watch that show, I know there's episodes of it here on YouTube. Home is where the art is. I've been watching those episodes and I have so enjoyed it. A family or a couple or a lady or whatever will come and she'll say she wants a piece of art and she has like a spending amount, or he or she, whatever. And then they'll invite 3 artists to come and pitch their ideas. And then the people that want the art will tell what their spending limit is. And then they have to choose only 2 out of the 3 artists. So 3 artists show up, but only 2 get to work on the project. Look it up. It's really cool, Cheryl. I think you'll like it. But I was watching those back to back yesterday while I was working on something else. And Scott came in because I don't know if that was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. He came in and I was still watching them. He said, "You haven't watched all of those yet?" But I thoroughly enjoyed them. I don't know if I've watched them all yet because the one I watched today, I still don't know whose piece of art they picked, because I kept getting a disconnection message. It said this video is having trouble playing or whatever, and I'd refresh and it would cut out at the same point. So I don't know whose piece of art got chosen out of the 2 that completed the art, which was quite frustrating for me because I wanted to know who won. You found it on YouTube, but you can't share the link. Okay. Yeah, it's Home is Where the Art Is, if anybody wants to look it up. If I can, I'll put a link in the description box to it. Yeah, it was very much like, you've been watching this far. No, we're not going to let you know. Ain't happening. I was like, come on, I want to know if he picked the fish or the painting. They were both beautiful. I don't know how you choose. I really don't, because I would just, I don't know. I think I'd be trying to find out a way if I could afford to buy it all after they did it, especially since some of them really make them personal, to those people. So there is another one right there, but you can't really see it. All right, I'm almost done with my Christmas lights. That's as good as it's going to get. Do they even look like Christmas lights? I can come back in with maybe a gold pen later and go around the lights and kind of bring them out. But that's my Christmas lights so far. You saved it to watch later. It'll be good. All right, so we are on, what did I do with my pen? This will be number 8 for us. And y'all picked, for number 8, you picked 21. So let's see, what's 21? Crayons. That's number 8. Number 8, crayons. Well, I have water-soluble crayons, and that is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use these Dina Wakley scribble things. So let me go get a paintbrush wet. I probably should just get some water in here. Chicken looks so good. I just want to grab a hunk of it. I put garlic pepper on the outside of it and an onion inside it. Mary says, "Wee, crayons." Oh, there's a water pen in here. I didn't realize. All right. Let's bring a different green in. All right, I'm just going to do just the green for right this minute. And then just spread it out. I might have to do a dry on this to dry it on up. That red from the spray, I think, is reactivating just a little bit and making the green turn an interesting color. It'll be interesting to see what these other prompts are because I haven't looked ahead. I'm working along, so I know when you know. I think that's enough on that because, I'll cut it into the postcards and I want just a hint of green. And what I can do is I can go back if I want more after I've cut it into postcards. I can go just around the edge of the postcard and add more then. So that's what I'm going to do for mine. And I think I'll dry it a little bit. They also have a show called Home is Where the Heart Is. Okay. Thanks, Kathy. It looks like a very girly Christmas. Okay, that needs to go. Sorry, dude. We don't need any of that. Beep, beep. Be back in a couple minutes. Okay. Thanks, Janet. All right. So that was number 8. Number 9. Number 9 is 29. And that is stars. Number 9. Stars. Well, I have a stencil for stars. Thank you. I know I have one that's stars. There we go. There's some stars. What color should I do the stars in? Yellow? Do different yellow than I've already used so it looks different. How about school bus yellow? Oh, I'm gonna need a sponge. Yeah, I got up this morning later than I normally do. I think we need gold stars. I think what I'll do is I'm going to use this school bus yellow, but then put a little bit of the ultra sheen gold. Ooh, boy, we're yellow. I think I added a little water to that. Wouldn't you say? It's very watery. Bernadette's got an appointment with the groomer next week. It's time for a groom. She's starting to itch and chew on herself and lick and lick and lick. And I said, it's time for you to go to get your hair did. And she looked at me like, cocked that little head like Cocker Spaniels do. It was funny. All right, so let's put these down the middle of this. I told Scott I would really like to live closer to where he works so that in the evenings when he goes for his walk around the parking lot, I could drive over and we could walk together. It's close to a 30-minute drive for me to go to walk with him each day. So I'm trying to warm him up to that idea. There's so much paint in this sponge, it's not even funny. Instead of reaching that far up, I'm just going to turn the All right, we got stars. I can throw the sponge in there. I don't think this stencil might go in there too. There we go. yellow back around on this. I think it's cool how you can get different textures just by scratching in paint. That's cool. That's cool. Sorry, playing. I don't know. This is looking kind of busy. Busy, busy, busy. Maybe it's a National Lampoon Christmas. Beginning to wish I started with a different color, but that's okay. Like I said, you just keep going with these things, and the next thing you know, it comes together and everything's fine. You just have to brave through the ugly. All right, so now you guys chose 5 for number 10. So let's see what that says. That says, write a Christmas word over and over. Write a word, a Christmas word or a word over and over. So what word for a Christmas word should I write, you guys? It's busy. Noel, joy, all that works. All right. Let's see here. You know what? I just got in new white pens, new Poscas. Looks like the Noels have it. Oh, man. These stupid plastic things. They need little pull strips. There we go. Finally got it. I could do Noel and joy. So I got to remember this half has to go this way, and then I got to turn it and do the other half because I've got my light bulbs going in different directions. Uh-oh. I got... Sometimes these things will just let loose and dump everywhere. And then other times it's like they forget they're supposed to be writing. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I've about ruined a brand new pen. All right. I think I've written it enough. I can always add it bigger later. Yeah, 9 was stars. 10 is write your Christmas word over and over. 11, what is that? Oh, I didn't write that on here. Let's see. This is number 10 right here. And then number 11 is number 4, which is stencil. Stencil. Bernie, chill. I'm going to use this because it looks like a big snowflake. I'm going to use white. Maybe, if I can get it to come out the tube. I've been watching a lot of Hercule Poirot because it's one of those things you can put on and it'll just take you to another episode of it, so you don't have to watch it, especially since I've already seen most of them anyway. But it gives me background noise that I can still work to. Why are you clearing your nose so much, baby? What's the matter? She does that when she's disgusted. What's the matter, baby? I don't know if I can get any more out of this. There we go. No. You do not go in the kitchen. The cat food's down right now. What's the matter? Do you need to go potty? Outside? Bernadette? Do you need to go outside? We might have to do a puppy break here. I think she does need to go, you guys. All right, give me just a sec. I'll be right back. I might put her in her playpen for a little bit if I can find her leash. There we go. You go side. Come on. What's the matter? You gotta have your necklace on. Come here. You gotta have your pretty necklace on. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Bernadette needs a moment. Cats are sitting with her out there. You're going with Bernadette? She's out in the yard. You can sit out there with her, Susan. She's in her playpen. She hasn't been able to spend too much time out there. It's been too hot, and we never know when a thunderstorm will come up over the mountains. Looks kind of like a big snowflake. And then maybe one down here in the corner. Good enough. Good enough. There'll be some on each postcard. All right, so that was number 11. So the last prompt is watercolor. Watercolor. Huh. Number 12, watercolor. Yeah, fireflies are closer to the woods. Well, some will come out of the bushes, but we've had so many of them. Watercolor. What'd Mary say oops about? No, it's 12, Janet. 12 is watercolor. So let's go back over these prompts while I think about what I'm going to do here. Number 1, spray. Number 2, tinsel silver. Number 3, bubble wrap. Number 4, washi tape. Number 5, sparkle. Number 6 was gold. Number 7 was Christmas lights. Number 8 was crayons. Number 9 was stars. Number 10 was write a Christmas word over and over. 11 was stencil, and 12 is watercolors. 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 I'm struggling with the watercolor prompt. Contaminating my watercolors. These don't reconstitute very good that I put in these little cups. And what's bad is when I put my clear coat on, this watercolor will probably, it won't end well. But that's annoying. Sorry. Wanted to spread that white paint out before it completely dried on there. They're yours, Candy. You can make them any way you need to. Let's see here. Let's see if that'll dry like that. See what happens. I might hit it with my clear coat and have all of the red watercolor in the clear coat, but I will have added it. I could put watercolor on the back too to color the back of it. I might do that. Just put some watercolor on the back. You left a border, you're going to watercolor there. Cool. I'm going to dry this and then cut it into postcards. We used to have a lot of dragonflies down at the house, but that was because two people behind us had vacant pools. The one lady's pool is nothing but a frog pond. So we had all kinds of beautiful dragonflies, green ones and blue ones and brown ones. And we got to hear the bullfrogs in her pool. So see, now you could take this and utilize it as a background. And if you wanted to, you could paint a snowman on it, paint Santa Claus, paint, anything you want on the background. It's just a background. You can add anything else to your postcards before you put your clear coat on that you want to. Trying to get the most real thick spots up. See, when they're like this, then I cut them down. Then I can decide if I want to do anything else. But I'm really leaning toward the idea of going over where the Christmas lights are with maybe a gold pen, like go along the line, trace the line for the wire, and then just go around and maybe add some detail to the caps on the light bulbs. So postcards, are they 3.5 by 5.5? I always have to ask this because I have the memory of a gnat. Is it 3.5 by 5.5? I can just measure a postcard. Where's Journey's postcard? I'll measure it. 3.5 by 5. Thank you. So it's 5. 3.5 by 5. That's the smaller one. I think that's the smallest you're supposed to go. And see, this is not going to be 3.5 this way. I mean, it's not going to be big enough to the 5.5, but I can do the 3.5 and have some postcards that are up and down instead of long ways. So save these because you can always use these to make cards. 3.5 and do a 5. So there's a postcard, but it'll be oriented this way. You don't have to have them. You don't have to have them all going long ways. They can be this way. In fact, this way might hang easier for people, take up less room than the long way. So I've got 2 that way. So there's 2 postcards. And then the little bits, like I said, save those because I make cards out of those too. So now this one will be 3.5 this way. Uh-oh, it didn't do. Put it back, Becky. I'm trying to get in too much of a hurry. There's 1, 2, 3. I might actually, let's turn this, make sure I get this one before I cut that other way. I'm going to get a lot of postcards out of this sheet, apparently. Because this was an 11 by 14 piece of mixed media paper that I used for the background. Usually I use the smaller size. What is that, a 9 by 12? So see, I've got these little pieces, and that's all the waste on a bigger piece. I think that's better than the waste I get on the smaller. So I got all these postcards here. Why is that one so much bigger? That one's not been cut right. I don't think I cut it down. It needs to be cut down to the 5 inches. That just gives me another little piece there. So before I work on these anymore, I just want to show you guys these strips you cut off. Let's do something with these really quick. It won't take me but a minute and we'll have another card. And this can be a non-Christmas bonus bit because you see that doesn't look Christmas at all like this. So these look to be about a 1/2 inch. But we could, because these are strips, we can make this a Christmas card. Hang on. Let me show you. Let me show you. Get a piece of craft cardstock or any color that you have. I like craft because the color shows up better. And I'm trying to use up all this 12 by 12 paper. So you've got, when you make a card up, what's an A2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, right? So if you cut this at, is that right? 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Yeah, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So come down 1/4 inch from both of those measurements. So let's cut some squares that are 5 1/4 by 4. And that'll be extra there. So we'll set it aside. So then we'll cut this by 4. So we'll get some bonus Christmas cards out of the postcards. super easy way to do this. I might actually can get 3 out of here. I don't have any card bases folded, but all you'll have to do is cut a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock in half, fold the 2 halves. You get 2 cards out of every you get 2 cards out of every 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So I'm going to make 3 cards. All right, so let's take our strips. Okay, so we want to make sure we have enough for all 3 of these. So let's start this here. And we'll cut this strip. We're just going to take the strips as they are. I'm not going to make them any thinner or anything. The front of our card is 4 inches wide. So the first one we'll cut at 3.5. So we need 3 3.5 inch pieces. All right, save this little bit here. So then come down and we'll do maybe 2.5, come down an inch. 2.5, is that about 2.5 too? So we'll do that one there and that one there. Cut one of these at 2.5. I might only be able to do 2 cards. 2.5. I'm gonna cut the 3.5s down to down to 3. Okay. 3, 2.5, and then the little 1/2 inch pieces. Save for your very tops. And then maybe I'll have enough to do all of these. It'll all come together, and I'll tell you the final measurements here in just a second. All right, so let's see if we can get some 2 inch pieces out of here. There's a 2 inch piece. There's a 2 inch piece. No, that's the one we just put it on, Becky. Okay. It'll make sense when I get it all together. So we really need 1 inch pieces. Let me see if I've got 3 1 inch pieces here. We might end up with a little bit of waste. And this one, we're just going to say it's close enough to be in an inch to work. Okay. So now get you a marker or a paint pen, and we'll do these up real quick. Let's see. I think I'd like a Sharpie, just a thin Sharpie marker. I did these for Christmas one year. And if you want to, go ahead and draw you a star and then just come down a little bit and just make a wiggly line down like so. And then maybe bring it down, make it a little wider. And then in between that, come a little like this and just make it look like the trunk of a tree. All right, and then you can have it come out. All right, then you put the one that's the smallest, you put it right at the top. We're going to glue these in place. And then put this on here. And if you wanted to, you can ink the edges. We might do that. But see, you put these on here. And once we get it glued down on the very bottom one, I always like to make a little bauble and paint it red. So it has like a single bauble on it. And it just looks cute. So let me do the star and stuff. And if you want to go back and paint your star in, you can. And if the more wonky you make it look, the better. So it almost looks like a Charlie Brown tree. So we're getting a bonus 3 Christmas cards out of this dirty dozen. And if you come back in on these and add white at the bottom, it'll look like snow. When you ink the edges, it gives them dimension. Okay. And if you wanted to, when you do these, you can doodle a border around this one, and then pick a color out of the pieces that you used for your trees. Like on ours, we could pull pink out if we wanted to, and cut a piece of cardstock just slightly bigger than this one, and then put it on the card front, and you'd have a little border of the pink. So we're getting bonus out of here. And if you wanted a snowy scene, all you got to do is put dots all over the front of the card too. Now you can ink the edges. You can take a marker and just go on the edge to cover that white paper up. You could use paint on your finger and just go along the edges, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to grab some ink and ink the edges, and then we'll glue these down really quick here. Let's do. Peel paint. And you can do this on your postcards too. But what I'm going to do on these postcards, I'm going to watercolor the back with that red watercolor, and maybe just flick some other colors on it. It gives it a really neat effect if you do that. Just put the little splatters on it. Thanks, Mina. Let's see. Ooh, this is really got some stuff on it here. If you get rid of that white, it looks so much better. The white edges on this paper. This doesn't look like I have that much ink on this sponge, but apparently I have more than it looks like. Y'all having trouble with autocorrect making up words for you? Thanks, Janet. Oh, good night, Journey. Thanks for coming and hanging out. What I might do is see if I've got a basket or a tin empty somewhere that I can put these in, so I don't like lose them and act like I've lost my mind later when I'm trying to find them in like November. Every year I say I'm going to do a better job and I'm going to be ahead of the game Every year I say that. And then every year it's like Christmas arrives and I'm scrambling. We don't do for extended family as much as we used to. We just lost touch with a lot of people, and I try to do for the littlest kids because that's where the greatest joy comes, is when they appreciate the gifts they get. I might, while I've got this green out, go ahead and edge the edges on those postcards too. I've got just a few little pieces, and I'm not going to worry about them this time. I might throw them into my bin of stuff. I forgot how many postcards I had out of this one sheet of 11 by 14. Inking the edges really does give you a lot of really pretty dimension on the postcards. And I will clear coat them. So 3 cards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 postcards. So 11 cards, bam, done. I might even stamp the back of these with the Merry Christmas rubber stamp I have, or I think it says Merry Christmas or Season's Greetings or something. I can't remember. My grandmother would say, company's coming, because my nose is itching. It's either company's coming or you're going to kiss a fool. Scott ain't no fool. Surprised he hasn't popped in, but he might be busy tonight. We had such fun yesterday. It's been so long since we've been thrifting, and we had such a good time. Oh, and the quilt frame I got is exactly the same size as the other one. I'm not going to complain a bit. But it makes me wonder if there used to be a quilt shop or something and it closed down. A partridge in a pear tree. I will open my group back up when Scott and I are settled in a house. I just felt like I would archive it for right now, because it said you can open it back up at any time. So I just needed to I needed some space in my brain, I guess you could say. Crops for Fun. Hi. We haven't seen you in here in a long time. Welcome back. Yes, we're going to sell that house. This whole thing with the pandemic and everything kind of knocked us back by 2 months because we did not want to go down to work on it for a couple months, you know, because my son's work has cases in it. And so we're extra careful when we're down there, and it's just knocked us back. We had really hoped to have it ready, you know, to sell this summer, but now we're thinking it'll be closer to fall. But we're knocking projects out. We've got quite a bunch of stuff crossed off our list of stuff to do. Getting that door for under the house done was a big thing because Scott built the door from scratch, and he got the bright idea to mimic the doors that were on the shed that we built. We will definitely build another shed like that one, because it turned out so good, and Scott did some design changes on it, and he keeps thinking he could probably make a living doing handyman stuff. He's so particular about how things are, so whoever hired him would be getting a job well done. My quilt friend in Maine said, she sent me a message, do y'all hire out? Because she needs some rooms painted. If it didn't absolutely kill me, I would do that. I would paint rooms. I just can't believe how much pain it puts me in. But I love a painted with a roller and paintbrush room over spray paint any day. I know spray painting is the thing now, but I just don't think you get a finish that really lasts with spray. Not like a rolled room. But that's my opinion. Again, my opinion. Oh, and at the end of the school year, there's always so much to do. Always so much to do. My sisters that are teachers are going through a lot right now. All right. Ink those. Look at the mess. Look at my hands. Good grief. I don't know if these these wet ones down here are dry as a bone now. The air conditioner's blown on them. And let me go wash my hands, and then I'm going to get a piece of pink cardstock and some card bases to put those on. Piece of cardstock. Who is it? Callie. What's the matter, honey? I could do red. I'll need 2 sheets of this. This is the 110 Georgia Pacific paper that I got at Walmart before I quit going there again. All Yeah, my one sister teaches at the University of South Carolina, and the other one is an art teacher in South Carolina. So, whew, elementary school art teacher. All right, so that you just cut it in half this way, and then fold these in half this other way, and you get 4 cards out of 2 sheets. And I should be able to get 4 mats out of 1 sheet of this. So I cut those a full 1/4 inch smaller than the card. So this I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch. So let's do 4 1/8 and 4 1/8. Is that right? That doesn't look right. That don't look like 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. No, that's not right. Becky messed up, dog. So it's 4 1/8 this way. I messed that up, so I'll have to get another piece of paper. And then this way needs to be oh, I can't remember what I cut this at. 5 1/4. So this needs to be almost 5 1/2. See, if I'd cut that correctly, I wouldn't have messed that piece up. Let's see, then I set this on here, and I'll have just a tiny little border on there all the way around. So let me try that again. This time I'll cut it correctly. I need to use this cardstock up. Some of it's quite old. Who is it? Howard. Come on, Howard. Let's cut it in half this way at the 5 3/8. Cut that 5 3/8. Cut this at 5 3/8. No, 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 no. And then I'll cut these at the 4 1/8. And cut this at 4 1/8. And see, that gives me 4 mats out of 1 sheet and just a little bit of waste. That's what I should have done with the first piece, but I got distracted cat herding. So now I have an extra 2 bases. That's okay. I'm going to glue all this together, put the trees together, and I'll save these for another card over here. And then we'll fold these in half, which I'm going to score them so they'll fold good. Hello, Mom. Who's Mom? Yeah, I wish they were talking about the online program here, but they're talking about how fast they can get the kids in school, and we're in a hot spot. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, that's crooked as it can be. Let's try that again. I scored it and used the thing. I'm having a moment here. Let's see if I can. So there will be a card. Oh, yeah. Callie is trying to tell me that the canned cat food that's out there has been out there and it's not juicy fresh from the can, and she can't possibly be expected to eat it. It's got dry edges and everything, and that needs to go to that cat on the porch that can eat that garbage. She's a prim and proper princess and she needs fresh from the can, blah blah blah. And now Howard wants back out, don't you, Howard? Mr. Howard Huge. That's what the girl Scott works with calls him, because he shows pictures of him, of Howard to the girls at work. One girl has a cat too, that she dresses up in a costume for their Christmas cards, and they have a picture done, which I think is so cute to get their Christmas card. Hang on. Can't leave the door propped because it's bug season. All right. I think I'll use the glue wall. Just for the speed of it. And let's see. For the trees, not the putting the card together. I'll use double-sided tape for that. Let's see. My piece of choppy block table that Scott gave me. Add a tad of water and mush it back up. Yeah, I don't know if that would work, Holly. I'm serious. This one, she wants it. She'll come and get me, Holly, to turn the cat food over so she can get the gravy that's on the underside. She won't just lick the gravy off, eat through, and eat the cat food. I have to flip the stupid stuff over for that cat. And I thought Greg's cat, Piper, was a little diva. This one's even worse. I wish I could get Piper on a video of her meowing. She goes like that in the hallway, like, where are you guys? It is so cute. And then when we leave, Greg says she's almost despondent. She's just crying and running through the house looking for us. I told him, I said, I don't know what he's going to do when he's on his own with all them cats. Hey, baby. Yeah. Out. All right, hang on. Of course, I'm finally getting a good rhythm to what I'm doing. So you want out. I've been looking at the catios on Pinterest. They look interesting. I might get Scott talked into building one. I saw one where instead of having a window open, a hole where they can go out through an open window like thing, they had installed like a dryer vent opening thing, but it didn't have the vent on it. It was just an opening with the dryer bits framed on it. Let's see, this will go on here. And you'll have just a little bit of stuff, and then a little bit of the pink will show. And these will be cute. The only one that will like clear a plate in one sitting most of the time is Tippy. Howard is very much a grazer, and Howard does not care for canned cat food. So he has dry cat food. And Callie will eat dry and wet. And Tippy, he'll eat dry, but he prefers the wet cat food. Scott said, you never should have started that. They should have all just got dry and lived with it. I tamed them and rescued them and captured them by feeding them real tuna and salmon when they were itty bitty little cats, and their mama would bring them by to get cat food. See, I miss feeding the birds. I quit feeding them because I have killing machines. I mean, cats. So I quit feeding the birds. It doesn't stop them from hunting, but I don't feel like I need to feed them and have them become a buffet, you know? If I can talk Scott into a catio, maybe we can feed the birds again. There's a that skunk has been hanging around. I hate taking the dog out at dark now because that's when the skunks come out and, you know, nose around in the yard. And I can always smell him. It's like, he's out here. I just can't see him. I'm just so terrified Bernadette's going to like stumble around a bush and get sprayed and get me sprayed. It's like, oh, please. Little guy, go back to hibernating. All right. So let's take this out from here. The reason I put it under the block is to hold it down for a minute. So now, go back to the first one we did. Was this it? This was it. And I'm going to put my tape on here. No, she's out there in her playpen. I can go get her here in just a minute. It is getting awful dark out there. Let me go get her. Thanks, Janet. That would be bad. She can't see him, so she would just start sniffing. Hang on just a sec. Whew. Say thank you, Miss Janet. You saved me. Bernadette, come here. Bernie, come here. Let me take your necklace off. Come here. While you're in the house, you can have it off. There you go. Yeah. Good. Oh, goodness. Are you so glad Miss Janet saved you? She'll go get on the couch and pass out and start snoring now. The dog cracks me up with the way she snores. I opened a pop can of fruit yesterday in here, and Buddy had his nose right in it. Oh, gosh. The one that really kills me out of the bunch is Howard in the morning. If he comes in when I'm like sitting down to watch Mary and I've got my first cup of coffee, I kid you guys, that cat loves coffee. He'll come and slam his face right into my coffee cup. I told him, I said, you are too furry to like coffee. Now go away. He doesn't seem to believe me that he's a cat when it comes to coffee. If I don't watch, he'll dip his paw right in my coffee. It's like, dude, go eat your cat food. Yeah, that is a good point. We had a cat, Mr. Tesla. He had all kinds of urinary tract problems, but a lot of it was because of obesity. He was huge, and that's really hard on them. And I told Greg, I said, I'm worried about Piper because she's almost as wide as she is long now. And I told him, I said, that's just not safe for her to be that big. But she is his kitty, so I try to stay out of it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and well, I've got my hand stuck in this. I'm going to go ahead and put tape on my mats and hope I don't mess them up. And then I might watercolor the back of my postcards. So I guess I need to watch this video and put the prompts in the description box, and then I think there's something about doing timestamps in the description box too, so if somebody doesn't want to watch the whole evening, they can like watch card construction or watch just the postcard wrap up or whatever. I'm just not real good about breezing through my videos to do all of that stuff. I guess I need to get better at editing. I just find editing boring. If I could find somebody to do all the editing for me, I would rather do that. I don't like to sit and edit. I just don't. So I'm sorry if my videos are too long. Where's the other one? There it is. I was going to say there should be one more mat. Good night, Holly. Thanks. Oh, Cheryl's going to bed too. All right, good night, Julie. Did Mary leave already? She sounded tired. Good night, Cheryl. I'm just going to put these together, and I was going to work on the postcards a little bit more. Might work on one of them and not try to finish all of them because yeah, Mary left. That's what I thought. Thank you. Yeah, Mary's probably going to go saw logs so she can get up at 4:30. Oh, Lori. I got it wrong. Not Julie. Lori. Sorry. Sometimes I just can't keep track of who's on first, that kind of. Yeah, I'm probably going to do yard work tomorrow if the weather's clear. Scott was talking about wanting to do his car repair, and I want to be right there with him because he's going to be working on the brakes and if he needs help or anything. To see on this here, we could just color this in a little bit with the Posca pen. Lay down. Hey, lay down. And if you wanted to, you could do little, just sit here and dot and dot. That's something you can do mindlessly on the background. Just put a bunch of dots. You could do them different sizes and stuff for snow, and then do snow pile at the bottom of the trees. And then just on the edge, you could do a little stitched, faux stitched line to make it look like it's stitched. Bernadette, don't go in the kitchen. Where are you going? Come on. Stay in here, okay? I haven't had a chance to pick the cat food up. You don't need to be eating the cat's food up. Why don't you go lay down on the bed? Go lay down on the couch. So I'm going to probably do another Dirty Dozen next week, but it'll probably not be Christmas themed. I just wanted to get a start on these. I might do a Christmas Dirty Dozen once a month from now until Christmas. Maybe do it the second week of each month. We'll just plan on that. And then by the time Christmas gets here, you'll have a nice stack of postcards. And if you make postcards, they don't cost as much as mailing a card. So you could save a good bit of money just in mailing. I know some families, though, that's their opportunity to do. Bernadette, get out of it. Sorry. Get in here now. You know better. Go on. Go lay down now. Go on. Don't be showing me you ate the cat food. Bad girl. Go lay down. Little nub is all tucked up under her butt. She knows she's bad. And it looks like I'll get some cards and some, because I could do a bunch of tree cards with trimmings like that. And then see, I like to do a little like hook come down like this, and then just draw a little bulb like that and color it in with a red marker. So let me get a red and a gold here. Oh, let's see. They're probably in with the gel pens. Thanks to Barb Owen, I went a little crazy with purchasing gel pens. You lay down right now. Go on. Go lay down. You are in hot water. I'm going to move my cart so it blocks the door, you little brat. You're not being good. You naughty girl. There's a gold. I guess it could be a gold bulb on there instead of red. I just like to do a red one. A red marker here somewhere that I do use for this. If it still works. Let's see if it still works. It does. So you do red like that. And then we'll fill the star in with the gold. And I'll add more snowballs here. Make some a little bigger than what I had on there. You could always add snow to the tree too if you wanted to. Oh, last night there was this great big huge wasp. As Scott was coming in, it was flying around in the middle of the night. And I said, "What on earth is that?" And he said, "That's a European hornet." He said, "Not a pleasant fellow." And I'm like, "Well, tell him to go away because I have to go outside." It was huge. It was like an inch and a half long. Uh-oh. That one's got a little bit of a breeze kicked up and busted a snowflake apart. That's what that is. But see, this is the kind of stuff I'll put like Poirot or something on it. I'll sit here and I'll do this kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that adds to the card, but people don't think you spend too much time and effort on stuff. They don't understand that all those extra little marks on every single card or whatever, it takes time. It doesn't magically happen on its own, does it? So there's my first card done. So there's a card. And if you want to, you can add a little highlight on your bulb. Just make a little like one of those comma on there, and it gives it dimension. And I think I'll sign these. I'll just put 2020 on here. So there's one card done, and I'm going to do the same thing to these two, but I'm not going to make you guys watch that. Yes, ma'am. So and you could add more to it, but that's all I like to do because it's like an instantly decorated because you've used the strips from your background to make the tree, and to me it looks like it's an already decorated Christmas tree. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna put that right there. So let's do just one postcard real quick. Let's do one that's oriented in the right way. This one, well, I shouldn't say in the right way, but in the normal way that you would see a postcard. Put it that way. Let's see, on some of these, this space, or pick a space that you think would fit. And like right here, it looks like I could do one of my snowman heads. But I don't know if you guys want to sit and watch me paint a snowman like I do. I usually give them a big black top hat with a red band with holly berries and that kind of thing. I don't know if y'all are wanting to hang for that long. So what I'm going to actually do for these is leave them like this, clear coat them, but on the back, I'm going to spray these up. I'm going to move these so I don't mess them up. I'm just going to get these all wet. Okay. I'm going to move these too. All right. Did I move? There it is. I was like, what on earth have I done now? I'm just going to take the red. These are little cups I got at the dollar store. I had this bright idea I would make my own little travel set of watercolors. And that's as far as it went. So I made this up, and then that was it. That green is pulling off on it. Got a little bit on the front. So I'm going to hit the back with the heat gun. Oh, Mina didn't get to see it? Oh, you'd like to see me paint the snowman? Yes, do a snowman. Okay. Well, let me finish the back real quick because it's just going to be splatters of watercolor. So now what I do is I normally get a fan brush, but choose another color. In fact, let me get a fan brush because it will work better. I'm just going to pick up some watercolor on the fan brush if I can. And then just make sprinkles like that. Put a little green on there. Rinse this out. And just for fun, we'll add a fun color. Some blue. Just to add interest to the back of your card. I don't know if there's enough in there for yellow or not. See, I can go back in with the red too. All right, then we'll just dry this. And this will be ready to have the postcard, address, and message put on it. And you'll have a little bit of decoration on the back. I don't generally clear coat the back of the cards simply because I want to be able to write on them. Yeah, that is a good idea. Put a temporary glue dot to hold them down. Oh, these little holders. I tried some hot glue and it doesn't hold. I think it's just too hot here. All right. So we're going to do a snowman on here. Let's see if these are all dry. But see, the effect you get is really cool looking. And that's the back of the postcard. And then I would draw a line, write postcard, and then the dividing line. And so there'll be an address place over here and the message over here. So I think I'm going to do a snowman right here. So we need to set these somewhere to dry because you never want to put watercolors up wet or you'll have mold growing on them. Hopefully this thing will stay out of there. So let me get rid of everything. This thing is about empty. Let's see, I'm going to put some of this paint up real quick. I need a white that's not, I'll need the red and maybe this green. Put the rest of this up real quick. Got yourself in trouble, didn't you? I see your old pouty face. Old pouty face. You know better. You do. You knew you were going to get in trouble. Yes, you did. I'm going to keep the light blue. I'm going to get another white. Or two. This one doesn't look like it's been opened yet. That might be enough white there. I need black. Smaller paintbrushes. Okay. Okay. think that'll get us going. I'm going to use my palette over here that I've been building paint up on. That was the best ink away. I don't pre-draw anything. Oh, Susan, I'm sorry. If I was there, I would help you. I'm gonna make a snowman. Let's see if this brush will work for me. Oh, you know what else? I'm gonna need orange. I like to make it look like he's peeking from below the card. This brush is too long for what I'm doing. Let's try something. This one's my favorite. Here we go. And I'm picking up red from the watercolor, so I don't know what kind of snowman we're going to have here. Maybe put this base color down and then dry it good and come back again. Maybe that's what I will need to do. Or else he's going to be red. See. Let's make him just a little bit bigger here. Some of him is going to get covered up with some black when I add his hat. But I just basically want to get a nice round ball for his head. And I'm going to use just a tiny little blue to denote the edges. Because, you know, blue or gray will bring out how the white is on the edges. So if you add a little blue, it'll make him look more icy. I'm just going to add this on the edge. And then I'll grab some white back up and just kind of even it out. And see, that lightens it down, but it gives him some depth. There we go. It's picking up some green also from the edge. I'm going to dry this, and then I need to go get some orange because he's got to have a carrot nose. I saw that on, I was watching Second Chance Hiker, and they actually saw pink snow on the, is it the Pacific Crest Trail? What's the trail that goes from Mexico to like Oregon? But the pink snow is actually poisonous. So you have to be very careful. Let me get some orange. She knows she's in trouble. She's pouting now. All right. This is bright orange. I won't need much because I need a carrot nose. So I'll just put a little bit out. I've got a smaller paintbrush, and I like to make it look like he's looking to the sky. So his nose needs to point up past the joy here. So if we give him a nice carrot nose. And if you really want your colors to stand out, what I could have done is painted the shape of his nose. That I would do, instead of having so many layers of the orange to get it to show, you could do some gray underneath, and then I wouldn't have to build up so much of the orange. So I'm going to dry that and then do another layer just so it'll show up. I'll remember next time to grab the gray and do the shape in gray first. Aren't we glad we have heat guns? Now, when I'm doing these postcards, if I'm doing them all the same, what I'll do is I'll do all the snowballs and set them aside to dry, and do all the noses and set them aside to dry. So I don't have to use the heat gun if I was doing all of them right now. Okay. I go quiet when I'm concentrating. Sorry, guys. I've heated it a little too much, and that's another reason to do them all at once, and set them aside to dry, is when you use a heat gun. Sometimes if you get it too hot, your paint's going to bubble, and sometimes it doesn't look too good, and other times it's like it just adds more character. I think I'm going to try to get just a tiny little dot of black on here. To dip into to give me a darker shade of orange. Whoops. I need that list. I will definitely need it later. Because, a tiny little bit of black and you can go too far. I just want a darker shade of orange to give me a shadow color. See, I use way too much black, so I'm using most of my orange to get anything close. All right, so he's looking up, so the lightest part of his nose would be down the middle. So just under here, I'm going to come in and try to work only on the underside of his nose and add a little bit of darkness just under the nose. All right, let's rinse that. And now let's do the opposite. Get a little bit of orange and a tiny little bit of white and come up with a lighter, a real light shade. See if I can get that to flatten out enough to And then maybe do just like this. Almost done with his nose. All right, so see now I've got, let me pick him up. I've got a shade under his nose and a lighter color toward the top. And now I'm going to come in with the true orange again and kind of go right in between those two colors and work like I'm going around the carrot. So from the top, from the light to the dark, make little letter C's is basically what I'm doing. And just come up off the paper a little bit as you get to the end so you're not covering as much distance. Here we go. So now his nose looks like it has some dimension and the light's hitting the top of it. So there's that. All right. So now he has, let's go ahead and put his hat on first. So I'm going to put some more black down here. And I'm just going to block in his hat real quick. If I can find the paintbrush I want to use. That's it. So he's looking up. So one eye will show on here. I might take the time to put a snowman on all of these, but not tonight. So I'm going to put his hats coming up like this. So you need to make the brim of his hat come out farther. And you got to remember it goes around his head. So what I'm going to do is come like this and make like this shape right here. And for right now, I'm just going to leave that spot right there alone for just a minute. All right, and this is one of those tall hats. So let's just come up this way. Now you could leave a space for your hat band to go. I just painted all black and I'll come back in just a few minutes. And I can tell right here, this needs to be up some more. Like that. All right. Now you might want to give it a dry and then we'll come back here. What I'm going to do for this little spot right there, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of white. To some black. So I'll just come over here and put some black down and then add just a tiny bit of white to give me a gray. You guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Let's see, we'll fill that in right there with the lighter color. And then midway on his brim, I'm going to put another little bit. Like that. And this part, I'm going to put really dark. Go over it with some more true black color. Come up here and do some more of another coat of black. And then maybe another. All right, I'm going to turn him back so he's facing me, but I'll show him to you guys. I put, see that kind of gray area there? That's just to denote that there's light kind of hitting his underbrim because he's looking up. Let me see if I can, Janet. I'll give it a go. Let's see here. Whoa, where'd you guys go? Back over here. Is that any better? Let's see. That's a little closer. That's as close as I can get. So there he is. Well, I'm going to let his hat dry just a little bit and work on his charcoal. He's got charcoal eyes and a mouth. So I just make little chunks of charcoal. So let's give him a chunky eye here, like that. And then give him a few little chunky pieces for his mouth. Let's make him smile. That's probably almost as all we're going to get. We can maybe put one more. Maybe he's got a real big smile. I'm not liking that. I don't know if I can pick that up. I think that last one was just too much. I'll see if I can cover that. Let's see if I can cover that up. Give it a dry. I think it's too close to his eyeball. Let's see if I can. Ooh, that won't work. I'll be right back, you guys. That water is too dirty. It'll mess up. Once you get into the black color, man, it muddies your water fast. All right, so we've got clean water. Thought I heard one of the cats, but it was just bugs tapping the window. Okay, let's get the blue, dark blue brush again. See if I can hide that blob there. Well, it's not hiding very well. Probably not. They probably don't. That's probably about as good as I'm going to clean that mess up. That almost erased my boo-boo. We're going to say it erased it. It erased it. All right, I want to add some of that gray color if it's still wet enough to get to the coal pieces. Nope, it's dry. It's dry. We'll make some more gray. Just add a little gray to each of these. Okay. All right. Now, let's scrape these colors out. This whole board is going to be black now. I think I need to do a painting on this one and get another one. Maybe I'll do the rest of my paints on the paper. Okay. So now he's got a hat brim. I mean a hat, what is it called? A hat band. A hat band that needs to be red. So this needs to be dried really, really good. He was blushing blue, huh? All right. Let's see. This is my favorite paintbrush to do most anything. It is probably came in a craft set. But I just love the size of it and the length of the things. All right, I want to make sure, let's do the bottom edge of the hat band first. It's got to have a little curve in it because, you know, the hat is round. Okay. What's bad is when I clear coat, I might spray this before I clear coat it with the roll-on clear coat. If I spray it, maybe I can stabilize that watercolor, because if I don't, my snowman's going to turn red. Now, if you wanted to put a Star of David on it, you could put it like real small up here, do like a line straight up and down, and then do some lines the other way, and just make it look real bright and shiny. You can make it look like the snowman was looking at that. We'll give it a rinse. Not a rinse and a dry. Okay, now we need holly berries and some holly leaves. How is this dry? Yeah, that's pretty good. So I like to practice the holly leaves before I get started. Now this paintbrush, I don't know where I got it, but it's got a funny little tip on it. So the holly berry is like this, and then you make a mirror image of it. And that's all there is to a holly berry bush thing. So sorry guys, concentrating again here. Now, if you wanted to spend, and I've done it before, some more time at this, on your leaves, you could add a little tiny bit of black and make a shading color and come in on one side of it and shade it. I'm not going to do that tonight. Cheryl's getting sleepy. Now I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush and I'm going to put 3 dots for my berries. 1, 2, 3, and I'll let this dry. And then I'll come back in with my Posca pen and I'll go around the berries and that kind of stuff. See if I can get it dry. Cheryl's about to fade on me. She's going to sleepy. Good night, Cheryl. Cheryl, I thought you'd already left. I thought I said good night. She must have got interested. All right, I'm going to work on his nose real quick while his berries are drying. All right, I'm going to get my white Posca pen and maybe just put a few little, like a little line a little bit, and then a couple dots, and maybe a little line up here. And then he's got to have little white dots on his charcoal pieces near the gray, just to give him some expression. And I'm going to kind of outline him lightly. So it's kind of a skippy little sketchy line with the Posca pen on his outline. Bernadette! Go lay down. Okay. And I'm going to do the same under his hat here. Okay. To bring his hat out of the background, I'm going to outline it. Okay. Make these kind of sketchy lines. Maybe a few dots. Bring out his hat band. Okay, and then I'm going to go around his berries. There's 1, 2, and I went through the red, so it's gummed up my Posca pen. And then do his leaves. This is what I was telling y'all. It takes time to do this kind of stuff. And when his berries get drier, I will put a little dot, little comma on it. You might want to do that on his hat here, and then a few little dots, and maybe a few dots here. Just add little bits here and there. Just to give it some dimension. So that's basically what you do. Do a little dotty line for his leaves a little bit. I really think those are still wet. I'm going to do little dots on the berries. That one's not dry. It's like, don't mess it up. You just opened it. All right. So there's the snowman. And I'll put some on the other ones. I'll just put somebody on and watch them. So tonight we did cards and postcards. So I think I'm going to let you guys go on to sleep. And thank you so much. And I'm glad to be back. And hopefully I won't need another mental break for a while. So let me pull out the one Christmas card we finished here so you guys can see. We did a Christmas card from our leftovers from our postcards. So that's what we made tonight together. All right. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later. Good night.